Previously on Meerkat Manor. Flint's quest for a birthing burrow led Hakuna Matata back to their old territory, where local land grabbers Ubuntu had moved in, sparking a turf war in which Flint triumphed. And as summer drew to a close, the curse of the Whiskers struck again, when family matriarch Swift was bitten by a snake, leaving her clinging to life. The opulence of summer has given way to the poverty of winter, bringing with it much drama. Whiskers leader Swift survived the snake bite, only to fall victim to predators within her own family. One winter's evening at the water tank burrow, Swift's older daughters, Pandy and Epsilon, begin dominating their siblings. Before turning on their mother. The following morning, they turn up the pressure. Pandy emerges as ringleader, executing a sustained campaign of intimidation and aggression against her matriarch. Injured and defeated, Swift submits to her daughter, and Pandy assumes leadership of the Whiskers. Winter in the Kalahari has become an increasingly brutal affair over recent years. With no rain for months, vegetation withers, and seasonal dust storms blast through the landscape. The inhabitants of this great desert are exposed to dry, unrelenting daytime heat and bitter cold nights. Now, more than ever, their survival depends on ingenuity. As the Whiskers struggle to feed themselves, Pandy's lack of leadership experience is exposed. But Swift's injuries are healing. And as she regains her strength, she begins to reassert her dominance. With the balance of power shifting back to their mother, Pandy and Epsilon are left with little choice but to surrender any claim to the top job. The old order is restored. But Swift chooses not to punish the girls for their treachery. She leads not by the example of her power, but by the power of example. And right now, her priority is getting her family through the winter drought. Across the manor, leader of the Ubuntu gang, Daisy, is dealing with the seasonal hardships by getting up to her old tricks. She's abandoned her southern border dispute with Hakuna Matata and moved her family north. She's now eyeing up land that belongs to another rival clan, the Zulus. As luck would have it, there's no sign of them today, leaving the way open for a free-for-all. Which is happy timing for her boisterous youngsters. With depleted supplies in their own territory, they're down to squabbling over millipedes, the least palatable of all options. As they trespass into Zulu territory, the choices improve dramatically. The sticky-fingered Ubuntu strike gourmet gold. Sneaking a meal on somebody else's patch is a bold move. But moving in on one of their burrows is downright impudent. This is starting to look like one of Daisy's land grabs. Back down south, the harsh winter has brought with it a run of bad luck for Hakuna Matata. Flint Lockwood miscarried her first litter of the year, and her second was taken by predators. Just like everywhere else, food here is in short supply. The family looks as lean as the pickings they are feeding on. Though there is one belly that is noticeably rounder than the rest. Flint is pregnant again, thanks to her partner Finnick. For her family to prosper, they need to remain strong in numbers, so Flint will do everything in her power to ensure these pups survive. Even if that means a return to a notorious location. But this time she's got her sights set on the other side. This highway canteen is hardly family-friendly, but on a good day, it provides the best takeout for miles around. The grass verges are undisturbed by large grazing herbivores kept out by the fences. But if you're small enough to slip through, you can hit the dining jackpot. Or you could just get hit. Flint decides it's worth the gamble. And where a matriarch goes, her family follows. But this is a curious world that they are entering. inhabited by terrifying machines. The grader levels the road by flattening everything in its path. Most of the family make it to the other side, but Flint's sister Sencha is leaving it very late to make the dash. Very late indeed. As the midday heat intensifies, 3 kilometers to the southeast, the Whiskers are seeking shade wherever they can find it. The need for Swift to find some respite from this relentless winter drought is becoming increasingly urgent. With her long-term partner Bria by her side, she sets off again with renewed purpose. Swift has chosen unconventional locations for her family in the past, and they usually pay off. But this place doesn't smell too promising. A field of muck may not seem very enticing, but it will attract insects. But even better, an oasis in the middle of a drought is exactly what they need. The only problem is, this watering hole already has its regulars. So the question is, are they willing to share? As courage deserts the lower ranks, it falls to Mother to show them how it's done. As usual. Fortune really does favor the brave, it seems. All it takes is a bit of pluck. Everyone is rewarded with a long, cool, refreshing drink. Everyone, that is, except the smallest Whiskers. At 8 months old, Hatchie, Laker and Fly are no longer babies. But they stand 2 centimetres shorter than the adults, and every centimetre counts. This place may not be to everybody's taste. There's no denying it has its downsides. But a fresh water supply in the midst of a desperate drought is a lifeline. So Swift will accept the compromise for now. Back on the highway, Flint's decision to risk it on the road is paying off. A huge scorpion is a nutritious meal for a mum-to-be. Finnick's sizable, if hard-to-swallow, snake is too good to share. Even with his only son, Akida, who decides it looks more trouble than it's worth anyway. There's no shortage of other options, though, and in the end, everyone enjoys the feast. But having a post-lunch slump in the middle of the road is just pushing your luck. Fortunately today, all of Hakuna Matata are safely accounted for. But Flint should be cautious about taking this gamble too often. With the day drawing to a close, the Ubuntu should be thinking about returning to their own territory. But instead, Daisy has them shamelessly preparing the Zulu burrow for the night. It doesn't need much maintenance, which indicates it hasn't been vacated for long, so it's a high-risk strategy to move in. If the Zulus return to find squatters at their burrow, they'll try to kill anyone they find inside. Sure enough, just as everyone's settling down for the night, the Zulus are heading home, and they quickly pick up the scent of strangers. Within moments, they are mobbing the burrow entrance. As they start their murderous descent, Daisy's quick thinking kicks in, and she leads her family to sneak out the back door. Coming from behind, Ubuntu get a clear run at their rivals. Their technique may not be pretty, but all the sibling play fights are paying off. The Zulus get their marching orders. the victors scent-mark their spoils of war. The conquered burrow and all of its surroundings are now firmly in Ubuntu hands. Acquiring such a prize meant putting her family in the line of fire. But Daisy pulled it off. When times are tough, providing for your family calls for brave decisions and sometimes risky moves. All three leaders have shown that they are prepared to do whatever it takes in this unforgiving environment. But as the relentless Kalahari winter drags on, one family in particular continues to defy the odds. It's now almost a month since the Whiskers arrived here. Swift's decision to remain and make the most of the ensuite facilities has given Laker time to get the hang of things. But such a lengthy stay has to have a greater purpose. Three weeks ago, deep inside this network of tunnels, Swift gave birth to 3 sons: Ragnar, Rollo, and Floki. And today, with eyes freshly open, it's time for the triplet brothers to catch their first glimpse of the outside world. Throughout her ordeal, the family insurgents, the harsh winter, Swift was pregnant. Yet despite the shocking aggression she endured and the challenge of finding nourishment in winter, her pups survived. They're not yet strong enough to venture beyond the burrow, but in just a couple of days, they will start their adventures in the strange, noisy world above ground.